So where you been all day?
Work.
So
Where else do I be at?
What?
Where else do I be at?
Why didn't I drop you off at work? Why didn't you just let me drop you off at work?
Because it's my car and I didn't want you to drop me off at work.
I always drop you off.
Okay, but today I didn't want you to drop me off.
You inconsiderate as hell. What if I had something to do? Then, like, you don't care what I got to do.
I wanted to drive my car to work today, and that's just what it is. So
I needed it.
Okay,
I had something to do.
well, you could have Ubered or something like you had me do them days when you didn't care about me having to be to work. Yes, it makes sense. Did it make sense that I Ubered and it's my car?
I'm waking up, it's a whole car.
Did it make?
What I Ubered?
Oh, I wake up and I have my own car, but somehow I still be having to Uber to work sometimes.
Oh, you finna piss me off, bro.
Okay, you already pissed me off, so.
8 o'clock.
Okay. I've been at work. I can go to work in my car. What you not understanding about that?
So, you couldn't let me do what I have to do or what?
You can Uber to go do what you have to do.
You off work, so...
Why you been waiting on me all day? I've been at work all day. Why would you wait all the way till I get home at 8 o'clock to talk about...
Why would I Uber and it's a car when I could just...
Because you've been here all day and you said you got something to do. If you got something...
You should not by any means start giving a man a car, especially when you know that he has nothing going on with his life. He doesn't have a job, he doesn't have a car, he doesn't have a house. He's really not being proactive with his life. He's a leech. He leeches on women who are doing extremely well for himself as a pickup. And he's using your car to cheat. And he could also be using your car to do other things that he shouldn't be doing, such as maybe being involved in illegal activities. And you know, sometimes it gets a little bit frustrating when you as a woman start to do this, because it is your way for you to also start begging him, like, babe, I'm gonna give you my car, don't go, I'm gonna do you this. And it gets to a point where you become desperate. So this man needs to go. If he had to wait for you, you know, and then he's mad at you for taking your car, and then you have to Uber yourself to work while you have a car, extra money, and then who's putting the gas in the car? You? While you Ubered yourself to work? Why would you have to Uber yourself to work? Why would you do that to yourself while you know that you work hard? This is the point where you leave him. This is the point where you know it is best you leave him.
Girl, most women are actually really scared of men, and they have a right to be, because men are super scary because many of them are predators. And so what I wanted to do as a dating coach for almost 15 years and as your fairy godbrother is to share with you some of the signs that a lot of these male predators are looking for when they're trying to date you, to see if they can exploit you, manipulate you, and just take control and advantage of you. Okay? So first, let's talk about reactions. They're always going to be looking at your reaction. So they will often test you by saying something a little bit disrespectful, teasing you, or a joke. You are going to have to set a boundary immediately and let them know how it makes you feel. That hurt my feelings. That made me uncomfortable. They will also compliment you, and they will look to your reaction. If you are minimizing it or saying, no, I'm not beautiful, right? Or you're acting like you've never had a compliment before in your life. Oh my God, thank you so much. This is so nice of you. I can't believe you're saying this. They already got you, girl. Okay? So they're looking at your reactions to how they are communicating with you. The other reaction that they're looking for is if they're going to ask you for a favor. They're going to ask you maybe for money, for a ride to the airport, maybe even career advice, right? Please don't give it to them. Don't give them anything. They want to see, is she going to give to me? Because real men that are in their masculine energy, they want to give to you. They don't want to take from you. Okay? Now, let's talk about what you say in your words. So if you're saying a lot of, I don't know, he already knows that he has you. Because it means that you're not checking in with yourself, that your head and your heart are disconnected. If you're saying a lot of self-deprecating things and humor, oh no, I'm not that smart, or I'm not that good at math, he already knows that you don't think highly of yourself. so that you can just co-sign on whatever you're thinking. He can co-sign on that, and you can start to stay in a lower vibration or a lower sense of self-worth. Okay? The other thing, if you're saying things like, I'm dating for marriage, I'm dating with intention. First of all, every man knows that if you're dating for all of that. And if you feel like you have to say it, he knows that you're desperate for it. You're desperate to be chosen. You're desperate to be in a relationship and to be married. Don't say those things. Also, don't talk about your healing journey. Everyone's healing, right? But if you're talking about your healing journey, he's going to take it as, oh, you must have really gone through some stuff. So you're going to be open to going through some stuff some more. So let's also talk about the physical, okay? So if you're around a guy and you start fidgeting with your clothes, right? It means that you're trying to look good for him, that he already has control over you. Or if, for example, and I'm a girl's girl, but I want to put you on here. If I see more skin than clothes, he knows that you're thirsty for attention, and that if he gives it to you, you're going to be putty in his hands. Okay? The other thing is, if you don't feel good about your body, if you're super tall or maybe you're thicker, a lot of those women are even super skinny, right? You'll try to be small, right? And your posture will actually say a lot about you, and this is how the predators will target you. Okay? So that's the physical part. Now, let's talk about your actions. Don't chase. Don't initiate texts. Don't initiate calls, because you're chasing him. And when you chase him, he already knows that he has you. Okay? This is like catnip for predators. Now, I hope this is really helpful for you, and let me know if you have any other kind of telltale signs for a predator while you're dating. But I will tell you this, and this is the work that I do in my program with my ladies. All of this is related, especially if you're a Black or brown woman, to a mother wound. And that your definition of love, your bonding pattern, if you have a highly critical and judgmental mother, hits each and every one of these things. So if you want to learn how to do it differently, definitely book a call with me, but understand that if you don't, that's fine too. We've got to really heal that mother wound. I hope this helps.
And then when he asks her where you've been all day, he knows where she was all day at work. It's just that he could not believe that she managed to do this to him with a car that he usually drives on her behalf. He is feeling offended, that more than surprised and also offended that she is willing to do this to him. And the fact that she did it, I'm sure she could not believe it, because the way that she's interacting with him shows us that she's never done this before. She's always been on trying to impress this man, trying to make this man appealing to me, try to make this man understand that I love him by giving him. And that's one of the worst things you could do to yourself as a woman, is to give a man, to give him more than he needs. You should never make a man comfortable. You should never in your life make a man comfortable, especially when it comes to money. He should never be relaxed. You should keep him on his toes. He's too relaxed. He's too comfortable. He looks at you and be like, this is my banking zone. I can bank with this one. He is offended, and you're looking back, and her looking back is almost as if she is having an internal battle with herself. That, okay, come back, I'll give you the car keys so that you can go do whatever. But I hope that she did not do that, and then she manages to click out of it and get this man out of his life, because he's a leech. And that's what leeches do. So if you're in this situation as a woman, better let him go. There's nothing good that's going to come from that. And I hope you take the guy's advice, because there's nothing good that comes from men who do that. They are leeches, and they prey on women like this.
Okay, I'm coming to you guys again with the art of hobosexuality. Hobosexual. For those of you guys who don't know what a hobosexual is, it's someone who uses relationships and sex as a bartering tool to get basic necessities, or a house, place to stay, things like that, or all types of things. And these are their practitioners. So it's levels to this, okay? It's not all unison. There's levels. There's higher up. So let's get into it. Okay, first you have the contract workers, right? So the reason why they actually made the list is sometimes they'll have a contract where they work for 6 months, 7 months, and they get off their contract and they need more work. But they don't immediately go into another job because either it's not available or they're practicing homosexuality, or it not being available is a practice of homosexuality. And they normally rely on their girlfriends or people in their family in order to sustain in between their contracts, because they like the freedom of having the contracts but don't really want to have a 9 to 5. So their usual people are, we'll say, career woman, young woman, and middle age. The older ladies, by then they're not dating somebody who's not going to be super manual unless it's like stable. Not saying she can't be a victim. I'm talking about the usual, okay? The next one is the legitimate transitioners. So these are guys that are maybe he's getting his PhD, maybe he's studying for the bar exam in law, but they're legitimately transitioning into a higher level. In between that time, they will practice homosexuality. So the ladies they usually practice that with is usually the career woman or the young lady, because this is normally while he's in between getting to a space. Only thing is with these guys, sometimes they're looking for a way to get a leg up and then they bounce. And then during that time, like she might mommy him. He might get offended by the mammying. He might get offended by that type of work. So he'll, once he get his leg up, he's out. He's going to go do his thing. He's going to get somebody else. It's almost like he left the mom to get with the wife. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, sometimes they'll leave. Sometimes they won't. But you'll see that a lot. The unemployable boyfriend. This is actually the most common form of homosexuality. This guy, basically, he doesn't like to work. He hates to work. His usual excuse is his manager doesn't like him. Every time he get a job, his managers don't like him. Usually have a low job skill level. Also, you'll hear the common excuse of the job is beneath him. So you could get him like a regular job, but he can't do that. He's better than that. You know what I'm saying? So where it does work is struggle love. So struggle love is he's a homosexual and his girlfriend is also in the same realm of like doing a lot of drugs, bumming. So they just kind of ride around on survival mode. The problem comes in that if she starts to upgrade or level up, or if he meets her already in a career and he may have had an odd job at that time, and then it makes it very clear that he's practicing homosexuality later in a relationship. So in that case, he'll, drop her off at work. But when he come back, this gas tank going to be on E. It could have been filled when she first originally went to work. It's going to be on E. He's driving around doing all types of stuff, okay? So that's him, but he will drop you off, normally addicted to drugs, things like that, or weed, or, whatever. So next we have the jailbird, Both of these guys is in level 2. Okay, the reason why he's in level 2 is because even though he's transitioning, but this could be a permanent transition. It can go too many different ways, okay? This is also one of those wild card ones. For one, how long was he in there? If he was in there 10 plus years, chances are he was blowing backs out or getting his back blown out. You don't know. Definitely could have been gay for the stay. So that's one reason. Second reason is I've heard them, literally had conversations with them where they start to romanticize prison. So he becomes what you call institutionalized. So he starts to collect identity from his time in prison, right? So while he was in prison, man, you don't even know. I used to have stuff on my books all the time. Everybody knew me in there. I was the man in there. He started talking about it like he was in Disneyland or something. So that's how you know with the jailbirds, it can go any way. Usual is the young woman, and I would say the middle age. Career woman, old lady, they be watching the news all the time. They already scared of the planet. That's all they need is something like that. So he's usually transitioning. Sometimes it's really hard for him to get a job, things like that. Next level, we getting into the professionals here, okay? These are higher ups, okay? The house hopper. Oh, he's a good one. He's crafty. So this one is very charismatic. He's normally clean cut, good looking, normally doesn't look bad. Normally has some type of artistic endeavor. So let's say he's just one step away from greatness. One step away from his big break. All he needed was them to just look over that one script and he would have had it. I was just talking to my boy, and all he needs is somebody believe in him. Okay? So his name victim is normally her, okay? Her not so much because she only doesn't have the income that he needs to really bum. But his favorite is going to be her. She's going to be the favorite, okay? Because she just needs to believe in that dream. Unfortunately for her, that day's not going to come because he's a professional bum, okay? So he just goes from woman to woman to woman. He gathers a lot of resources, different friends, family. He knows how to talk. He knows how to get what he wants. Normally dresses pretty nice. House hoppers up in the professional level. Last but not least are the top tier. This is the house husband. This actually comes with some honor and decency, okay? These guys are not usually the worst form of homosexuals, okay? And some people might even say it's respectable, okay? If he's a really good house husband, he'll keep the house clean. He'll keep the food on the table. Everything will be good. He even takes care of the kids. He gonna make sure everything's all right. He normally takes a lot of pride in his craft. Sometimes the wife will give him the check and he divvies it up, normally pretty happy. So this is top tier, okay? Some people don't want to practice it because they consider it a form of homosexuality. Some people don't. But if this is the highest level, okay? A lot of men aspire to reach this level, okay? And then next, you have the young gigolo. So his relationships with women is also transactional. He's just more of a professional than the house hopper, okay? So the house hopper uses more, is not as direct, but both of them operate in subtlety, okay? So he's able to elicit more out of women because he normally has a good body, and you already know, I don't even got to get into it, etc. But what people don't know is it's a craftiness to this as well. He can't just come out and say, get me a car. No. Women don't want to feel used, right? So he's going to say, she's going to be like, wow, you didn't even come visit me the day before. Oh, man, my car. Every time I started, there's something wrong with it. I've been needing another car, man. I know that's why I wasn't able to visit you. Or, hey, you never called me. Oh, it's because my house. I'm always in there with all these roommates. They're always making all this noise. That's why I can't do it. I just need a place to stay. And his favorite is her. She loves it, you know. I'll get you a house, baby. I'll get you a car. I would, you know. She's going to help with that transaction with that. Also loves her. These two are not usual victims of the gigolo because they can still get a little bit more without having to do too much. But these are his favorite. And there you guys have it. That's the art of homosexuality.